2 of install. Yesterday, we had some technical difficulties with the cameras and memory cards and stuff like that, so we didn't really get much footage of putting the heads on, but it was a late start. My man Gio flew in to Sacramento, got in around noon, booked it up here. Wasn't really gonna come in tomorrow or yesterday, but decided to come in, put in some work, let's get the heads put on. So it was really like a half a day of work. Coming back at 8 o'clock this morning. Gonna get a whole bunch more done. We're hoping that midday tomorrow on Wednesday, we will be press on, all leveled out, everything's going, and we start working on how to operate this thing. But so we got all the heads on. I highly suggest you don't try to do this yourself because there's a method to the madness. You do need at least another person. But it's cool, it's starting to look like a press, so I'm pumped up. We got that big crate out of here, so you can slide off the little Riley Hopkins press off to the side, pull it out when we need it. But we are still in production, so here early. We gotta get some embroidery stuff done. So let's go over. Run over to the computer. Toss this DST file onto this flash drive and go put it to work. All right, so we're gonna load up this file into the embroidery machine. Put it. It's pretty simple. I like this embroidery machine that we got. People could talk shit about it all they want. I don't fucking care. Does a good job. We're happy. Customers are happy, and that's all that matters. Okay, got that loaded up. Actually got to rethread some stuff. So we need white and red. We got white on there, but we got to toss red on. So people ask, why do you need a 15 needle embroidery machine? Do you ever do anything that needs all 15 colors? And the answer is no. But we do a lot of different stuff. And if I had less needles, I'd have to change colors more often. So this is more efficient to, like if I only had a 4-color or a 4-needle embroidery machine, we would be changing needles just about every single time that we needed to embroider something. And this is a pretty simple design, and they're structured hats, but they're not super structured hats. So we are going to throw on some smaller needles. So we were having some heavy structure with some thick embroidery going on. So we had 80-12 needles on there. Right now we're going to put 75-11s back on, see how that looks. And this is kind of one of those things that you just kind of got to play with. This is off topic from what we are doing this week, but since I'm doing it, might as well throw it into the vlog because we're always going a million miles an hour, and there is no reason to not share what we're doing with people. 7511 sharp needles. We're doing some flex fit hats. So yes, they are structured, but at the same time, they're not like a heavy structure like a Richardson. And what I mean by that is the thickness and stiffness of that spot that you're embroidering on is not as thick. So you don't have as much issues with needles breaking, or issues with, I'm gonna need some more needles soon, or issues with just the needle going through. One thing I've found is I'm constantly needing to buy things, whether it's needles, more thread. Got to a point where when we order thread, like let's say we need a spool of white, instead of ordering a spool of white, we actually order like 3 spools of white. So we order multiples, that way we have some backups, things like that. Comes in handy too, because let's say you got a big area that you're going in and you use a thicker needle, but then you have white where you have some fine detail. You could switch that over to a finer needle since you have more thread, if need be. Like I said, I'm not an embroidery expert, so everything we do, we're just kind of like figuring out, trying to find the best possible way to do it. It gives us the best outcome. Right, simple. Now we're gonna go over, we're gonna reprogram our thing. So color 3 is now red. Yeah, close enough. Save. Oh, configure. And then color 4 is still white. Okay, we're good. We're going to set up our machine. We have white, red, white. No. Usually I print these out, but I didn't. But maybe I did. Let's see. Oh yeah. White, red border. Get it inside. Perfect. We're good to go. Let's throw a hat on this.
Everything happened for a reason, what they say, but I believe it's time. I missed out on opportunities, but don't regret it. Refigure something out before I lose my mind. Just trying on that ball that they can't get back. Double life over 5, man, where I can see. Almost the easiest challenge.
So these are the chips that you were saying can go bad? That's like one of the main problems?
That would be generally your main, either most likely your own issue.
Okay.
But it's fairly simple. You got a bunch of plugs. One's marked on the back. They're marked, so the X will go with the X, and the other one is a 3, which is the only slot for it. Then there is like a 13 or a 10, but that one, it only reaches the top. It won't be able to reach the bottom.
Okay.
So then obviously the last one is this one.
Gotcha.
Now then there's this Ethernet cable right over here. This internet looking cable, which a lot of people get confused because there's different slots.
Okay.
Generally that's always going to be the top.
Okay.
But I always say, if you always got to replace this, pop open another one just in case.
Just to look at it, because they're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Other than that, what's also important is there's this little channels right over here. Each one has a specific channel. It's not gonna go like channel 9, channel 1 for head 1. It goes in a certain sequence. Generally, right over here, if you swap it on the original ones, it'll tell you the right switch. So if you have one that's bad, it'll tell you which one to flip.
Okay.
But if you call me, I'll be able to tell you, boom, 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 it's this, 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 or I'll be able to send you a picture for the right ones if you ever need to, change these.
Okay.
Other than that, it's just 4 screws, 1 screw in the bottom, 2 screws in the bottom, 2 screws on the top, right up.
Okay. And what are those boxes in there?
These are the drives that control your gearboxes right over here. That's what sends the power to it and the speeds, how fast it goes. Your top one right over here is going to be for that gearbox down over here, and that's what causes this to go up and down. The bottom one right over here is for your belt.
Okay.
For this thing to go
Front
forward
and
back. Yep. Generally, those do not have issues whatsoever. These are.
So that's not something that I have to play with or do anything with. That just it's set. It does its thing.
Yep.
Leave it alone.
This thing though, there's numbers on it, and if there's ever a problem, like something going on with too much pressure or it's not going slow, these will tell you some codes. And then you'd be able to tell whatever technician, hey, this thing's throwing out this code, and that could also help us with whatever problem it's having. Sometimes a lot of people, you can apply too much pressure, and if it applies too much pressure and you're going slow, there's like a time limit to reach point A to point B, which are the sensors. So if it doesn't reach within that sensor, just throw out a certain code. Either, hey, just didn't reach it, and then we'd be able to tell you, all right, it's just you're applying too much pressure and it's going too slow. Either decrease a little bit of pressure or speed it up. Or sometimes, if this goes haywire, for some strange reason, it'll throw out a different code, and then you tell us, hey, this is getting me OT1, R34, RS7, something like that. We're like, all right, we know what the problem is, what it's related to, and we can get you, a better solution. Because sometimes these have gone bad, rarely, but they'll tell us exactly right over here. I won't know the codes, I gotta look them up, boom, boom, boom. Once I figure out that code, I can tell you what it is, because there's like hundreds of codes.
So it's like putting a scanner onto your car.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So they sent Gio over here to set up this press. He's like the main one. He's the GOAT. One of the GOAT. He's modest. He said this was his first one he's put together. But I'm trying to kind of be involved with how he's putting it together. I want to know as much about it as possible so that I know what's going on. Kind of like with anything you do, the more you know what's going wrong or going right. So if I ask too many questions, Gio, just tell me to shut up.
The more you know, the less phone calls out.
Preventive maintenance, right?
Exactly.
So what's the foot pedal?
That is more of a start and stop button function, where you can position it anywhere along your machine while you're most comfortable. The monitor rotates about 280 degrees, doesn't do a full 360. So sometimes you may have the monitor at 3, you come up and with the foot button, you can just start, engage the machine, stop it whenever you like, instead of always have to go back and forth.
So that would be like if you're doing, manual mode, like I was reading, where you hit the button to change, you could just use the foot pedal?
Yep.
Gotcha. I might need to order one of those.
And the foot pedal is very easy. It gets connected right on the side. It's just one plug and play.
And then it reads that it's hooked up and it operable. Okay. Does it pick up what head your flash is on as well?
Yes.
Or do you have to tell it where it is?
So if you see right on number 7, there's this black circle right over here. So that anywhere where there's one of these connections, you plug the flash into. The only place that does not have it is your very first and your very last head. So you can move the flash, basically any other head in between that. As long as you plug it in here, it will read it. If you have the flash slide in and you do not have that plug in, it will not recognize. So you do have the potential of literally swiping it right off your machine, falling around the floor. perhaps breaking your light bulbs. Maybe not, but I've seen it happen where it just moves right off.
Okay. That's good to know.
But there's these sensors, stroke sensors right over here. We always say if you're gonna put on your flash as a double safety, you engage both safeties so this thing doesn't have the potential to move.
Okay.
Because these are pretty short. If they're like this, they'll move all the way to the sensors activated here and here. But if you have them here,
it won't do nothing.
Yeah, it won't do nothing.
Okay. So even if you weren't doing anything on, let's say, print head 6, but your sensors were out like that, it's still gonna, even though there's not a flood bar or squeegee on it or anything, it's still gonna move back and forth when it hits there.
You could deactivate the head
to
prevent that.
Okay.
But if you had it activated, from that learning curve, if you have it activated and there's nothing in here, it'll still move.
Gotcha.
I'll show you all that stuff, how to program it, how to do all that.
This is the first owner's manual I've ever read in my life.
That monitor is a giant computer screen. Nothing too special with it. Whatever you can do to a computer, you can do to that monitor as well.
Okay. So I could change the background?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Change the language to whatever language you want. You could charge your phone, plug in USB, all that stuff. If you want, if you're a computer savvy guy, you could add on another monitor, dual monitor, dual surf the internet while you're also using the machine.
I think I'll fuck up jobs if I do that.
Yeah.
I need to focus on one thing at a time, not checking my Facebook while I'm printing.
YouTube videos.
Yeah. I guess I could play some YouTube videos if I'm having an issue, but
Play computer games if you want.
would you operate the press if you could play Fortnite while you're working? No? Just getting all these boards, computer chip boards, hooked up, plugged in, makes everything work. I opened that box and saw the computer chips and instantly closed it. I was searching through things, looking for things, and saw that and instantly said, I don't need to play with this box. So there's another model they have too, where on each head there's a control panel right here to control all of them. Costed more money, and I didn't really see the benefit of it for right now, so we didn't get that one.
It's on all machines, all along the yellow bars. If you're in between, so you're walking in, and we'll stop the press immediately.
Oh, wow.
And then from there, it'll also tell you, there's error, machine's not reset, tap the reset button, and then you just have to follow everything on the rectangle right over here. If you notice, all the operating buttons are away.
Okay.
And you just follow the steps.
We got a killer building where the fire alarm just goes off nonstop. Okay, so we're going to turn off all these layers, channels, whatever you want to call it. We got white, or highlight white, brown. We got a teal, a pink, a cool gray, and a white base. So let's start with the white base. And we are going to hit, I'm not on my Mac, so it's Control P. And we're gonna go to that. We're centered. Scaled at 100%. We're going to put registration marks. And we're going to hit print. It's going to send it over to here at some point. This thing will go make some things. Sending the file over. It's also ripping it. So this just has gradients. We didn't convert this over to halftones. This is going to rip it itself. I'm going to hit start. And we're doing it at 60 LPI. And this is a test too, because this is going to be the first time we get to print with this on a press, lining up multiple colors, seeing how it goes. So we're doing 60 LPI. This is technically 120 mesh screen. Call bullshit on the frame mesh. Usually on a mesh, it's going to be like when they say like 120 mesh, that's going to be in a square inch. There's 120 thread paths making little squares that the ink passes through. 230, there's going to be 230 in an inch, and so on and so on. So I don't understand how you could get such high LPI on a 120 mesh. Like, it just doesn't make sense at all. There's not enough. I don't know. I don't understand it. It's simple, but here we are. Oh, yep, it's working. It's doing its job. So if you want to see it down in here, I don't know if you can see it, but see, it ripped it into halftones. So there's the little dots. So they have a, show you here. They also have other mesh counts too. So they have a pink mesh and a white mesh. So these are both 120 meshes. So I chose the pink one because for this one, it's going to be easier to see what's burned into the screen than on, like, here's a white one. As you can tell, it's a little harder to see what's actually in like what's burnt in. So that's why we went with the pink one, so we can line stuff up. And the issue that I was having when I burnt these ones was it was burning the last thing that I sent to the printer. So I don't know how to fix that. I'm waiting for somebody to call me back to fix that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it off every time. And that is just because I don't know what I'm doing and nobody's been able to help me yet. So this will get done. That screen's done. So this part isn't very efficient. And that's mainly because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So there's one. That's the white base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to label them too. Turn it back on. My man Gio's back. Wiring in the flash. He's been putting in tons of work, getting everything dialed in. There's a lot that goes into it, huh, Gio?
Yes, sir.
A lot of fine tuning. It's all a precise science. Leveling off the palettes, leveling off the everything. Everything has to be perfect. And you don't want anybody else but this man right here.
Nothing less than perfect.
There's a lot of shit going in here. He's got to wire it in so it works. Flash has a sensor so it kicks on when something goes under it. Does for a set amount of time. And then off to the next one. So a little bit. I think he's got this and a couple other little things to do, and then we're gonna start putting something on here and start printing something. I think.
Rock and rolling.
Making some money.
Printing money.
Printing money, just like the government. Only our shit's worth something. Okay, so we're gonna print this order. We got it in cycle mode. I'm not good enough to just do it all in one pass. We're gonna do it in manual mode. So we're gonna load a shirt on, hit print.
You're gonna actually hit the load in that load right there for a garment. Now that's for one shirt. If you double tap, that's for multi shirts. But we're gonna do it one at a time first.
Okay.
Right? So from there, you'll hit stop. Looks like that's the tape from the bottom of the screen. And I'll get clean. Watch your fingers.
Nail it.
Now what we could do is we could print over that or remove that shirt.
Let's say just move the shirt since it shifted.
Yeah, since it shifted, probably what we could do is remove it from here,
Okay.
and
So that's just going to be a blank palette. It's not going to recognize that. So now we load one on here. But we did have,
the registration marks.
yeah, so we got to go clean. And because I didn't put that. Here we go. Safety bars open. Clean again.
Make sure you have a t-shirt on that loading station.
So we got one on the loading station. We got one on the flash. So we're good to manual print again.
Sir.
Right now we're getting comfortable with the machine. running it at a manual pace so we can just tell it when to go when we're ready. Run it on. So now I can't put another one back onto that one that we turned off because it's not, it won't make it through the cycle right.
Yep. Either what you can do is leave it on there or remove it.
Okay. So we got on a cycle mode where it's going to do 2 passes with the underbase, flash it. It's actually going to go all the way around, hit the underbase again, flash it, and then start hitting colors in a sequence. So now,
You can either, if you're ready to rumble with the bumble,
Yeah.
put it in the automatic mode
okay,
and let the magic happen, or we could go in manual one at a time too.
I think let's fucking run it, dude, because I like to gamble. So this one we're turned off, so we're just gonna take it off. Screwed that one up. Okay, so now it's gonna print one of those. It's gonna flash it. It's gonna hit the gray twice. Then it's gonna hit the pink twice. Then it's gonna go back around and flash. Then it's gonna come back around, hit the teal, go back around and flash, come back and hit the brown, and then it'll be done. So this isn't the most efficient way to run it, but it's a hell of a lot more efficient than a manual press.
Oh, you in the right door? One more.
4?
Printing?
Yep, right here.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know. First I went down the other.
Sorry, that's what I was
Okay.
You'll see it kind of like on the seam a little bit.
Okay.
It's not too bad. It's manageable. If you got like, something that can clear it off, it'll come off.
Okay. And it's where I didn't put the coating, huh?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I did was I taped it up
Okay.
to solve that. But that was a small little issue.
Okay.
I stopped it, cleaned it. But now the machine signified it made a beeping sound, which was, hey, first shirt is done.
Okay.
Either we could remove these shirts and that'd be it, or you could remove add on another shirt, and it will begin the exact same cycle all over.
Okay. So how do we? So we just remove this.
Yep.
Under the dryer. Put a new one on.
So now before we press the button, we're gonna switch it back to manual just in case something happens. And then in that loading station, see how there's
multiple?
So that means every time you don't have to tap that green square every single time.
Okay.
So when you press manual print, it will start to begin from the very first cycle, but it will also finish the rest off from the previous cycle. Make sense a little bit?
So we're saying that it's not just the first round. We got multiple.
This will be the first round, but that'll
finish last. It's not starting. Okay, so we're good to go. So we just leave it on that. When that comes around,
you can put on a shirt.
We can put on a shirt on that one and start again. And that comes around. We don't have to hit load anymore. We just hit manual to go.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If you wanted to put on automatic and just let it roll.
That's where the dwell time would come into play.
Yes, sir. And you go see on the next one we're on the stage, on the sides. It was a little.
Okay.
Ish.
Not that big of a deal. We could get that off.
After so many cycles or after so many rotations, you want to check your ink levels, all that stuff too.
Okay.
Since that was your last one, after that one, you can put in automatic mode and let it do its thing.
Okay.
But at the same time, if a mistake does happen, you gotta be quick to press that stop button. You do not want to press the safety bar because then that will reset your whole cycle from the very beginning. So if you're in cycle 3 and you have 5 cycles and you press this to stop a mistake, you go and it's gonna reset it and it's gonna go start back all the way to.
So those shirts are all ruined then.
Not really, though.
They're just thicker because okay. So now I could go auto print.
Yes, sir. That's where that hook pad will come in handy too. You'll have it on the opposite end where you're at.
So now I could walk around, check my inks, do that type of thing while it's going.
Yep.
So that I stay efficient and not just standing there. So far, I'm not very good at not making a mess with the inks on this thing.
I'm gonna stop that. You're having the same issue too on the white.
On the white?
Yeah.
Okay. Guess now I know I need to coat that.
The reason why I do that is getting more thicker here. I saw it on the other one, the first one, and then it was getting bigger and then bigger.
Or the gray.
Perhaps, yeah. Could be, yeah.
Oh no, or have we done the gray yet? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because then it would have done the pink.
Was it plain? And it's right along the seam, so you can cut the till.
Oh, right here. Yeah.
What we'll do is I'll put it on both sides. Of the cycle is done.
Then we hit stop.
Nope, you don't. It'll stop automatically.
Okay.
And then you can remove the very first one. And then if that was your last shirt of your run, you would remove the shirts on the loading station and finish off the last cycle.
So now we go back to manual, right?
Yes, sir.
Or we can leave it on automatic and turn the dwell time to what we need it to and do it that way, but that paranoids me. So far, 2 days. The heat like reactivates it, and then you could spray water on it too. And, yeah. You know the type of stuff we used to eat as kids? Glue and paint chips.